in charts 19-4, 19-5, and 19-6 from pages 410 to 415. Okay. Now yesterday we talked about the punctuation of in some other clauses using cause and effect and because of and due to. So today we're going to do on chart 19.4, we're going to do a summarization of patterns and punctuation. Okay? So in adverb clauses, if we look at examples A and B. So because it was hot, we went swimming. Okay? So here, because introduces the adverb clause, you notice that there's a comma. And we went swimming because it was hot. If the adverb clause follows the main clause, no punctuation is necessary. An adverb clause may precede or follow an independent clause. Precede means it comes before, like in A, or follow, like in B. A comma is used if the adverb clause comes first. Okay? So if the adverb clause comes first, we use a comma. If it comes after the main clause, no comma. Prepositions, because of here instead of due to, but you can use both. Because of the hot weather, comma, we went swimming. Or due to the hot weather, comma, we went swimming. We went swimming because of the hot weather, and we went swimming due to the hot weather. A preposition is followed by a noun object, not by a subject and a verb. So here, because of the hot weather, that's a noun object. Okay? Not a subject and a verb. Punctuation. The comma is usually used if the prepositional phrase precedes the subject and verb of the independent clause. Okay? So here we're going to, we use a comma if the prepositional phrase comes before the subject and the verb of the main clause. Here's the subject, here's the verb, we use a comma. If it comes after, no preposition. Okay? Now look at the transition words. It was hot, period. Therefore, comma, we went swimming. Or, it was hot, period. We, comma, therefore, comma, went swimming. Or, it was hot, period. We went swimming, comma, therefore. Letter H. It was hot, semicolon. Therefore, comma, we went swimming. Now you notice that if we use a semicolon, we don't capitalize the transition word. Okay? If we don't use a semicolon, we use a period, we capitalize the transition word that starts the sentence. Okay? The transition is used with the second sentence of a pair. It shows the relationship of the second idea to the first idea. The transition is movable within the second sentence. Punctuation. A semicolon may be used in place of a period as in letter H. So here, you may use a semicolon instead of a period. But note, a period is used between the two independent clauses, examples E through G. A comma is not possible. Commas are usually used to set the transition off from the rest of the sentence. So what they're saying is that you do not use a comma here after the main clause. Okay? No, but you may use a comma after the transition to separate it from the rest of the sentence. Now remember yesterday we also looked at the transition can come at the beginning of the sentence, followed by a subject and verb, or we can have subject, transition, verb, or we can have subject, verb, rest of sentence, comma, transition at the end. All three are correct. Now a conjunction. It was hot, comma, so we went swimming. A conjunction comes between two independent clauses. Punctuation. Usually a comma is used immediately in front of a conjunction. So you notice here, usually we use it if they are independent clauses. Okay? So you use the transition. Okay? In general, a semicolon can be used instead of a period between any two sentences that are closely related in meaning. Peanuts are not nuts, semicolon, they are beans, period. Notice that a small letter, not a capital letter, immediately follows a semicolon, as in right here. Okay? It's a lowercase t, not a capital T if you use a semicolon. Look at exercise 13. Correct or choose all the correct sentences. We have examples A, B, and C in number 1. Okay? So we're going to look at these sentences and determine which ones are correct. Let's do number 1 together. It is important to wear a hat on cold days, comma, since we lose 60% of our body heat through our head. Number B, since we lose about 60% of our body heat through our head, comma, it is important to wear a hat on cold days. And C, it is important to wear a hat on cold days since we lose about 60% of our body heat through our head. Now, if you look at those sentences, which one is not correct? Is it A, B, or C? So the one that is not correct is letter A, because the main clause is first, followed by the adverb clause, therefore no comma is necessary. So this A is not correct. But B, yes, the adverb clause is first, there we have a comma, and then the main clause. And in C, the main clause is first, therefore no comma, and then followed by the adverb clause. Okay? So go ahead and do number 2, 3, and 4. And we'll check in a minute or two. Okay, so in number 2, letter A, Bill's car wouldn't start, semicolon, therefore, comma, he couldn't pick us up after the concert. B, Bill's car wouldn't start, period. Therefore, comma, he couldn't pick us up after the concert. And C, Bill's car wouldn't start, comma, therefore, comma, he couldn't pick us up after the concert. Now ask yourself, which one of those is not correct? The one that is not correct is letter C, because we don't use a comma before the transition. We use it afterwards to separate it from the rest of the sentence. But A, Bill's car wouldn't start, semicolon, therefore, comma, he couldn't pick us up after the concert. That is correct. They're using a semicolon. And B is also correct because they're using a period with a capital letter and then comma to separate the transition from the rest of the sentence. But letter C, we do not use a comma before the transition word. Okay? So letter C is not correct. A and B are correct. Number 3. A. When I was in my teens and 20s, comma, it was easy for me to get into an argument with my father because both of us can be stubborn and opinionated. B. When I was in my teens and 20s, comma, it was easy for me to get into an argument with my father, period. because both of us, capital B, because both of us can be stubborn and opinionated. And C, when I was in my teens and 20s, comma, it was easy for me to get into an argument with my father, comma, because both of us can be stubborn and opinionated. Ask yourself, which of these is correct? Okay, so here, the correct one is going to be A. This is your adverb clause of time. When I was in my teens and 20s, comma, main clause, it was easy for me to get into an argument with my father because both of us can be stubborn and opinionated. Letter B is not correct because you do not use a period and then start the adverb clause is leave it by itself because this is a dependent clause. Remember, adverb clauses are dependent clauses, therefore they need to be connected. Okay? And in C, it's not correct because we don't use a comma since the adverb clause comes after the main clause. No comma is necessary. So the correct answer is A. Number 4. Robert got some new business software that didn't work, semicolon. So he emailed the software company for technical support. B. Robert got some new business software that didn't work, comma. So he emailed the software company for technical support. And C. Robert got some new business software that didn't work, so he emailed the software company for technical support. So looking at A, B, and C, ladies and gentlemen, which one do you think is correct? The correct answer is letter B. Robert got some new business software that didn't work, comma, there's your conjunction. So he mailed the software company for technical support. These are two independent clauses. There's a conjunction, we use a comma. We don't use a semicolon like in A. And here in C, there is no comma, so that's not correct. So the correct answer is going to be B. All right. Let's look at exercise 15. On exercise 15, ladies and gentlemen, it says combine each pair of ideas with the words in parentheses. Did you know? So number 1, a camel can go completely without water for 8 to 10 days. It is an ideal animal for desert areas. So where would you use due to the fact that? At the beginning or in the middle? So here you're going to say, due to the fact that a camel can go completely without water for 8 to 10 days, comma, it, lowercase I, is an ideal animal for desert areas. Again, due to the fact that, lowercase a camel can go completely without water for 8 to 10 days, comma, lowercase I, it is an ideal animal for desert areas. Excuse me. So go ahead and do number 2 using since. Number 3, due to and consequently. There's 2 of them, okay? And number 3, because. We'll check in a minute. Okay. So number 2, we're using since. Now look at the sentences. A tomato is classified as a fruit, but most people consider it a vegetable. It is often eaten in salads along with lettuce, onions, cucumbers, and other vegetables. So here, we're going to take this, okay, and we're going to put it right here in the middle because this is the cause. This is the effect. So you're going to say a tomato is classified as a fruit, but most people consider it a vegetable, since, lowercase I, it is often eaten in salads along with lettuce, onions, cucumbers, and other vegetables. Or you can also say, since a tomato is often eaten in salads along with lettuce, onions, cucumbers, and other vegetables, it is classified as a fruit, but most people consider it a vegetable. Okay? But it's better to use it here in the middle. Here. A tomato is classified as a fruit, but most people consider it a vegetable, since, lowercase I, it is often eaten in salads along with lettuce, onions, cucumbers, and other vegetables. Okay? Now number 3, we're going to use 2 words. Okay? Due to and consequently. Okay? So, in this particular area, okay, there says, there is a consumer demand for ivory. Many African elephants are being slaughtered ruthlessly. Many people who care about saving these animals from extinction refuse to buy any item made from ivory. So here, you're going to start the sentence with the prepositional phrase. Okay? So you start with, due to a consumer demand for ivory, comma, again, no there and no is. Due to a consumer demand for ivory, comma, lowercase m, many African elephants are being slaughtered ruthlessly. Okay? Period. And then you start with consequently, comma, lowercase m, many people who care about saving these animals from extinction refuse to buy any item made from ivory. Again, due to a consumer demand for ivory, comma, lowercase m, many African elephants are being slaughtered ruthlessly. Period. Consequently, capital C, comma, lowercase m, many people who care about saving these animals from extinction refuse to buy an item made from ivory. Period. And number 4, we're using because. So here, you're going to use it at the beginning. Because, lowercase m, most 15th century Europeans believed the world was flat and that a ship could conceivably sail off the end of the earth, comma, lowercase m, many sailors of the time refused to venture forth with explorers into unknown waters. Again, because, lowercase m, most 15th century Europeans believed the world was flat and that a ship could conceivably sail off the end of the earth, comma, lowercase m, many sailors of the time refused to venture forth with explorers onto unknown waters. Okay. Now, this next exercise is a warm-up, exercise 16, or introduction for chart 19-5. Okay? Other ways of expressing cause and effect. Okay? So, it says, create humorous sayings by matching a phrase on the left with one on the right. It's such a hot day that I could, letter C, eat a horse. Okay? Now you notice such and that is followed by a modified noun, hot day. Look at number 2. I'm so hungry. I'm sorry, I did number 1 wrong. It's such a hot day that I could, letter D, fry an egg on the sidewalk. Letter D, not E, not C. And number 2, I'm so hungry that I could eat a horse. So here, so and that is it's in the middle. You use an adjective. Okay, hungry. Number 3, he is such a rich man that he blank. Letter A, buys a new boat when one gets wet. So here we have such and that. So you're going to use a modified noun, rich man, adjective and noun. Number 4, she is so sick that she, B, needs 2 beds. So here, so and that is split with an adjective in the middle. Okay? So that, if we go to the next page, chart 19-5, that's the explanation here. Okay? Yesterday we talked about the using because of, and due to. Remember that because is followed by a subject and a noun. A subject noun, or a proper noun or subject noun, and a verb. Because of or due to is followed by an object, which is like a modified verb. So here, if we look at chart 19-5, other ways of expressing cause and effect, such blank that, and so blank that. Now look at these examples, ladies and gentlemen. Look at example A. Because the weather was nice, we went to the zoo. B, it was such nice weather that we went to the zoo. The weather was so nice that we went to the zoo. Examples A, B, and C have the exact same meaning, ladies and gentlemen. They're just written differently. Okay? In B, they're using such nice weather that. Nice weather is what we call a modified noun, adjective and noun. And in C, they're using so and that with an adjective in the middle. Okay, you can use either an adjective or an adverb with so and that. Okay? Now, look at examples D and E. It was such good coffee that I had another cup. So here you have such and that, and here's coffee. Okay? Good coffee, that's a modified noun. Adjective, noun. Letter E. It was such a foggy day that we couldn't see the road. Such and that, and here we have foggy day. Okay? Foggy day is a modified noun. Adjective, noun. Such blank that encloses a modified noun. You have such plus adjective plus noun plus that. That's what we call a modified noun. A noun that has an adjective before it. Like good coffee, foggy day, nice weather. Okay? Those are modified nouns. Look at examples F, G, H, and I. The coffee is so hot that I can't drink it. I'm so hungry that I could eat a horse. He speaks so fast that I can't understand her. He walks so quickly that I couldn't keep up with him. So here you see so and that with an adjective in the middle. So and hungry and that. Hungry is an adjective. In H, so fast. Fast is an adverb. That. He walks so quickly that. Quickly is an adverb. So here, so blank that encloses an adjective or an adverb. So adjective plus that. So for example, so hot that. Or so hungry that. Or with an adverb. So fast that. Or so quickly that. Okay? So and that enclose an adjective or an adverb, but not a noun. Okay? Such and that encloses a modified noun, which is an adjective and a noun. Okay? Look at J, K, L, and M. She made so many mistakes that she failed the exam. He has so few friends that he is always lonely. She has so much money that she can buy whatever she wants. He had so little trouble with the test that he left 20 minutes early. So here we're using expressions of quantity here. So many, that. So few, that. So much, that. So little, that. So blank that is used with many, few, much, and little. So you also use so that with not only adjective and adverb, but with expressions of quantity. Many, few, much, and little. And then letter N, letter O. It was such a good book that I couldn't put it down. Or it was such a good book, I couldn't put it down. You notice that that is in parentheses. Sometimes, primarily speaking, that is omitted. So you could say, it was such a good book, I couldn't put it down if you're speaking. But if you're writing, it was such a good book that I couldn't put it down. Okay? This is important to have, okay, in writing. In speaking, it's optional. My preference is to use it. If you remember noun clauses in chapter 12, they also gave us the option of using that. Look at O. I was so hungry that I didn't wait for dinner to eat something. So here you have, or I was so hungry I didn't wait for dinner to eat something. Sometimes, primarily in speaking, that is omitted. Okay? Now, let's look at exercise 17, ladies and gentlemen. On exercise 17, we're going to use so or such, depending on what follows. Like, for example, look at letter A. It was such an enjoyable party that no one wanted to leave. Enjoyable is an adjective, party is a noun, so you say such. B. The party was so enjoyable that no one wanted to leave. There's no noun, so we just use so because this is an adjective, so we just use so because it's not followed by a noun. Letter C. We had so much fun that no one wanted to leave. Here's an expression of quantity from the examples J, K, L, and M. We can use so with many, few, much, and little. Go ahead and do number 2, 3, and 4, and we'll check in a minute. Okay, let's look at number 2A. Leda is blank afraid of flying that she traveled by train across Canada. So you say, okay, this is an adjective. There's no noun. So you say, Leda is so afraid of flying that she traveled by train across Canada. B. She was gone for blank a long time that she got homesick. Here, long is an adjective, time is a noun, so that's a modified noun. She was gone for such a long time that she got homesick. Letter C. People on the train were blank kind that she will always remember them. So here, kind is an adjective, it's not followed by a noun. People on the train were so kind that she will always remember them. Number 3. My elderly aunt has blank few friends that I am beginning to worry about her. Few friends. Ah, here's an expression of quantity. My elderly aunt has so few friends that I'm beginning to worry about her. B. She's not poor, but she spends blank little money that I'm not sure she's eating right. Here's another expression of quantity. Little. She's not poor, but she spends so little money that I'm not sure she's eating right. Letter C. I've wanted to visit blank many times, but she always says no. Here's another expression of quantity, many. I wanted to visit so many times, but she always says no. Look at number 4. The movie was blank scary that none of us could sleep at night or last night. The movie was, here, scary is an adjective, so the movie was so scary that none of us could sleep last night. B. We were blank scared that we held hands when we walked home. Okay? We were so scared that we held hands when we walked home. So here, scared, again, it's not followed by a noun, so he says so. Letter C. I was afraid of having blank bad dreams that I didn't sleep well for a week. Bad dreams, modified noun, adjective, and a noun. So I was afraid of having such bad dreams that I didn't sleep well for a week. Okay? So number 2A, so afraid. B, such a long time. C, so kind. 3A, so few. 3B, so little. 3C, so many. 4A, so scary. 4B, so scared. And 4C, such bad dreams. Okay. Now, in exercise 18, this is, it says work in groups, take turns making sentences using so such, followed by that. Try to exaggerate your answers. Share your favorite sentences with the class. So look at the example. Now exaggerate, it's like when people say, oh, he puts too much cream on his tacos, right? You exaggerate. You bend the truth. You inflate the truth. Okay? So look at number 1. I'm hungry. Or the example. I'm hungry. In fact, I'm so hungry that I could eat a horse. Well, in reality, no one can eat a horse, a whole horse. Okay? I'm so hungry that I could eat a steak. Okay? But not a horse. So let's look at exaggerations of numbers 1 through 8. Number 1. Okay, I'm going to do this one because it's an exaggeration. I'm really tired. In fact, I'm so tired that I need 36 hours in a day to sleep. Or, in fact, I'm so tired that I need 3 beds to sleep in. Okay? Number 2. I didn't expect it. I was really surprised. In fact, I was so surprised that I fainted. Or, in fact, I was so surprised that my hair stood up on my head. Okay? Look at number 3. I took a very slow bus to town. In fact, it was so slow that a turtle walked faster than the bus. Or, I took a very slow bus to town. In fact, It was so slow that my grandmother beat us by walking. Okay? Number 4. Remember, exaggerate. We watched a very exciting movie. In fact, it was so exciting that I fell out of my chair 3 times. We watched a very exciting movie. In fact, it was so exciting that I fell out of my chair 3 times. Number 4. The weather was really, really hot. In fact, it was so hot that I could cook a steak on the top of my car. Okay? The weather was really, really hot. In fact, it was so hot that I cooked a steak on top of my car. Now, number 6. Imagine having a lot of money. And then you lose your wallet. My wallet fell out of my pocket and I lost a lot of money. In fact, I lost so much money that the person who found it is now a rich person. Or in fact, I lost so much money that now I am poor. Okay? Number 7. If you go to some of these exclusive restaurants, especially those French restaurants, they're expensive. Okay? I ordered an expensive meal at a restaurant. The server brought a small plate with a tiny amount of food to my table. In fact, it was so small that I needed a microscope to cut the steak. Or, in fact, it was so small that I ordered 30 more plates. Okay? That's an exaggeration. Now, look at the picture here. You're swimming in the ocean, and then all of a sudden you see a shark. Like Jaws. Remember that, the theme from Jaws? Dun dun, dun 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 dun. So you're swimming, then you see a shark. I saw a shark while I was swimming in the ocean. I was frightened. Remember, frightened means scared. In fact, I was so frightened that the water level in the ocean rose 2 inches. Or in fact, I was so frightened that I ran on top of the water to the shore. That's an exaggeration. Okay, look at exercise 19. On exercise 19, it says, make new sentences using so or such by combining each sentence on the left with the appropriate sentence on the right. Make all necessary changes. Okay? So we're going to use either so or such, depending on is such if it's followed by a modified noun, so if it's followed by an adverb or adjective, or an expression of quantity, much, many, few, and little. Okay? So, number 1 is done for us. There are so many pine cones on that tree, and we're going to match it with letter E. There are so many pine cones on that tree that it is impossible to count them. Okay? Because you say, there are many pine cones. So you say, oh, here's an expression of quantity, so I'm going to use so. There are so many pine cones on that tree. Okay? And then that it is impossible to count them. Look at number 2. The radio was too loud. Okay? First, we have to find the sentence that's going to be matched with number 2 from A through H. Okay? So here, letter G. So we're going to put G over here. But do I use such or so? So here, the radio was loud is an adjective. The radio was so loud that I couldn't hear what Michael was saying. So put a letter G here. And put so right here. Scratch out 2 and put so. Do number 3 through 8. And we'll check in a minute. Okay, so we look at number 3. Olga did poor work. Here's a modified noun, poor work, adjective and noun. Olga did such poor work. We're going to combine it. Okay, Olga did such poor work, comma, that she was fired from her job, lowercase s. Letter B. Olga did such poor work that, comma, that she was fired from her job. Put letter B here. But you're going to have to put such here and that here. Number 4. The food was too hot. This is an adjective. It's not followed by a noun. So you're not going to use so. You're not going to use to. You're going to use so. The food was so hot. Okay? So hot that it burned my tongue. Letter A. So put an A over here. And just cross out 2 and put so. And then put that. Okay? Number 5. The wind was strong. Okay? So here, strong is an adjective. It's not followed by a noun. So you're going to use so. The wind was so strong that, letter C, lowercase I, it blew my hat off my head. The wind was so strong, strong that, letter C, it blew my hat off my head. Number 6, the tornado struck with great force. Great force, here's your adjective, here's your noun. So you say, the tornado struck with such great force that, and then letter F. It lifted cars off the ground, lowercase I. The tornado struck with such great force that, letter F, lowercase I. It lifted cars off the ground. Number 7. Few students showed up for class. Here's an expression of quantity. So you're going to say, so few, lowercase f. So few students showed up for class that the teacher postponed the test. Again, so few students showed up for class that the teacher postponed the test. And number 8. Charles used, okay, here, too much paper. Here's an expression of quantity. So you say Charles used so much paper that when he wrote, Charles used so much paper when he wrote his report that, letter H, the printer ran out of ink, lowercase t. So, Charles used so much paper when he wrote his report that, letter H, lowercase t, the printer ran out of ink. Okay, if we'll go to page 414, please. On page 414, it says, check the sentences that correctly complete the given sentence. So we have number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, here's the beginning. Kay got a new job so that, what do you think? Kay got a new job so that she could be closer to home. 2, Kay got a new job so that she is very excited. Number 3, Kay got a new job so that her husband is taking her out to dinner to celebrate. Kay got a new job, number 4, so that she could earn more money. Now, which of those sentences correctly complete the given sentence that Kay got a new job? So here, number 1, Kay got a new job so that she could be closer to home. Yes, that is correct. Okay? Because people get jobs, they relocate to be closer to home. Okay? And number 4, Kay got a new job so that she could earn more money. People go find another job to earn more money. Not number 3, not number 2, not number 3. You don't get a new job because she is very excited, or Kay didn't get a new job because she is very excited. No. And she didn't get a new job so that her husband could take her out to dinner. No. Okay. So, if we look at chart 19-6, okay? On 19-6, it says, expressing a purpose using so that. Okay? I turned off the TV in order to enable my roommate to study in peace and quiet. And B, I turned off the TV so that my roommate could study in peace and quiet, or I turned off the TV so my roommate could study in peace and quiet. In order to expresses a purpose. Why did you turn off the TV? To enable my roommate to study in peace and quiet. See, that's your purpose. Or I stopped at the bank, in order to cash a check. Why did you stop at the bank? To cash a check. In A, I turned off the TV for a purpose. The purpose was to make it possible for my roommate to study in peace and quiet. Examples A and B have the same meaning. So, in order to is the same as so that. Okay? It gives a purpose. Using so that plus can or so that plus could. Look at C. I am going to cash a check so that I can buy my textbooks. Here I'm using can because I am going to. Okay, that's in the immediate future. So we use can, the simple form. But look at D. I cashed a check so that I could buy my textbooks. Here we're using could because look at the verb here. I cashed the check. That means it already happened. Therefore, I'm going to use could, the past tense of can. So that also expresses purpose. It expresses the same meaning as in order to. The word that is often omitted, especially in speaking. And again, it's your choice, but I like to use it, okay, in speaking and in writing. So that is often used instead of in order to when the idea of ability is being expressed. Can is used in the adverb clause for a present future meaning. In C, so that I can buy means in order to buy. Could is used after so that in past sentences like in D because you already cashed the check. Okay? So we look at the last part here. So that plus will or so that plus would or the simple present. Letter E. I'll take my umbrella so that I won't get wet. Won't is the contraction for will not. Letter F. Yesterday I took my umbrella so that I wouldn't get wet. Letter G. I'll take my umbrella so that I don't get wet. Okay? In E, I'll take my umbrella so that I don't get wet. So that means I won't get wet in order to make sure that I won't get wet. Okay? In F, yesterday I took my umbrella. This is yesterday. So that I wouldn't get wet. Would is used in past sentences like in example F. Okay? Because it was yesterday I took. So instead of won't, you say wouldn't. And then in G, I'll take my umbrella so that I don't get wet. It is sometimes possible to use the simple present after so that in place of will. The simple present expresses a future meaning. Okay? So if we look at exercise 21, okay? Number 1 and 2 are done for us. We have number 1, A and B, and then number 2, A and B on page 415. So here it says, please turn down your music. I want to be able to get to sleep. So you say, okay, this is going to be present future. So please turn down your music so that I can get to sleep. B, my wife turned down her music. I wanted to be able to get to sleep. So turned, she already did it, it's in the past tense. My wife turned down her music so that I could get to sleep. We're using could because this action already happened. If you go to page 415, look at number 2. Put the milk in the refrigerator. We want to make sure it won't spoil, or we want to make sure it doesn't spoil. Same thing. Put the milk in the refrigerator so that it won't spoil, or put the milk in the refrigerator so that it doesn't spoil. Okay? And letter B. I put the milk in the refrigerator. I wanted to make sure it didn't spoil. So wanted and didn't, past tense. I put the milk in the refrigerator so that it wouldn't spoil. Okay? Number 3A. Please be quiet. I want to be able to hear what Sharon is saying. So you say, okay, you find the purpose. What's the purpose of being quiet? Please be quiet so that I can hear what Sharon is saying. Again, please be quiet so that I can hear what Sharon is saying. I'm going to take out, I want to be able to. I want to be able to. No, actually, you're going to leave I, but so that I can hear what Sharon is saying. So want to be able to is going to be eliminated. Okay? Right there. Look at B. I asked the children to be quiet. I wanted to be able to hear what Sharon was saying. So asked and wanted. So here you say, okay, that's past tense. So you're going to say, I asked the children to be quiet so that I could hear what Sharon was saying. Again, I asked the children to be quiet so that I could hear what Sharon was saying. So we eliminated wanted to be able to. Because wanted in the past, we say could instead of can. Let's do number 4, A and B. I'm going to go to a cash machine. I want to make sure that I have enough money to go to the store. Remember, we have to find the purpose. So you say, I'm going to go to the cash machine, so that I have enough money to go to the store. Again, I'm going to go to a cash machine so that I, right here, have enough money to go to the store. I'm going to eliminate want to make sure that I. Eliminate that part. Okay? And B. I went to a cash machine yesterday. I wanted to be sure, or I wanted to make sure that I had enough money to go to the store. So you say, this is yesterday. This is going to be past tense. So you're going to say, I went to a cash machine yesterday so that I would have enough money to go to the store. Okay? I went to a cash machine yesterday so that I would have enough money to go to the store. You can also say, I could have enough money to go to the store. They're interchangeable. So go ahead and do number 5, 6, 7, and 8, please. And we'll check in a couple of minutes. Okay, let's look at this. Number 5. Anne and Larry have a 6-year-old child. Tonight they're going to hire a babysitter. They want to be able to go out with some friends. So you look for the purpose. Okay? So you say, Anne and Larry have a 6-year-old child. Okay? Tonight, okay, they're going to hire a babysitter so that they can go out with some friends. Tonight, they're going to hire a babysitter so that they can go out with some friends. B. Last week, Anne and Larry hired a babysitter. They wanted to be able to go to a dinner party at the home of Larry's boss. Last week, Anne and Larry hired a babysitter so that they could go to a dinner party at the home of Larry's boss. Last week, Anne and Larry hired a babysitter so that they could go to a dinner party at the home of Larry's boss. And a comma after last week. Number 6A. Yesterday I put the meat in the oven at 5 o'clock. I wanted it to be ready to eat by 6:30. So yesterday, comma, I put the meat in the oven at 5 o'clock so that it would be ready to eat by 6:30. Yesterday I put the meat in the oven at 5 o'clock so that it, not I wanted, but so that it would be ready to eat by 6:30. Letter B. Be sure to put the meat in the oven at 5 o'clock. You want to be sure that it will be, or you want to be sure that it is ready to eat by 6:30. So here, you're going to say, be sure to put the meat in the oven at 5 o'clock so that it will be ready, or so that it is ready to eat by 6:30. Either one, will be or is ready. Okay? Be sure to put the meat in the oven by 5 o'clock so that it will be ready, or so that it is ready to eat by 6:30. Number 7. I'm going to leave the party early. I want to be able to get a good night's sleep tonight. So you say, I'm going to leave the party early so that I can get a good night's sleep tonight. You eliminate want to be able to. No, you eliminate this. I'm going to leave the party early so that I can get a good night's sleep tonight. B. I'm not going to look at any messages on my phone or computer before I go to sleep. I want to be sure that my mind is free of distractions. So see here, you say, I'm not going to look at any messages on my phone or computer before I go to sleep, comma, so that so that my mind is free of distractions. No I. This is what you're going to eliminate. Okay? I'm not going to look at any messages on my phone or computer before I go to sleep, comma, so that my mind is free of distractions. You eliminate I want to be sure. Okay? Number 8. Tommy pretended to be sick. He wanted to stay home from school. Tommy pretended to be sick so that he could stay home from school. Okay? So you're going to say, wanted to is going to be eliminated. Tommy pretended to be sick so that he could stay home from school. the ability to stay. Okay? He held a thermometer under hot water. He wanted it to show a high temperature. So it's okay, the purpose. He held a thermometer under hot water so that it would show a high temperature. Or he held a thermometer under hot water so that it could show a high temperature. Would or could, both. He held a thermometer under hot water so that it would show, or so that it could show, a high temperature. You're going to eliminate he, wanted, okay? And to. All right, one more, ladies and gentlemen. On exercise 22. Add that to the sentence if so means in order that. If so means therefore, add a comma. Okay? So, if it shows a purpose, you're going to add that. Okay? If it shows a purpose, if it shows in order to. If it means therefore, you just put a comma. So look at number one, look at number two. I need to borrow some money so that I can pay my rent. This is the purpose. Why do you want to borrow money? The purpose, I can pay my rent. This is in order to pay my rent. So you use that. But look at number two. I didn't have enough money for the movie, comma, so I asked my friend to buy my ticket. So means therefore, I asked my friend to buy my ticket. Let's do number three. I need a visa so I can travel overseas. Does so mean in order that, or does it mean therefore? So in this, I need a visa, comma, I need a visa so that I can travel overseas. I can travel overseas is your purpose, okay? It means in order to travel overseas. Overseas means traveling across an ocean to another country. Like for example, if we go to Germany, we're going overseas. If we go to China, we're going overseas. If we go to Australia, we're going overseas. So you need a visa. So in order to travel to those countries, you need a visa. So it shows purpose here, in order to. I need a visa so that I can travel overseas. Number four. I needed a visa, so I went to the embassy to apply for one. Okay? So we look at so here. Does it mean in order to or therefore? So in this particular case, I needed a visa, comma, therefore I went to the embassy to apply for one. See, so means therefore. Do number 5, 6, 7, and 8. We'll check in a minute. Remember, if so means in order that, you're going to use that. If it means therefore, you're going to use a comma. So look at number 5. Martha is trying to improve her English so she can become a tour guide. Does it show in order that, or does it mean therefore? here. So here, so means in order that. So you're going to say Marta is trying to improve her English so that she can become a tour guide. That's the purpose, to become a tour guide. That's why she's trying to improve her English. Number 6, Olga wants to improve her English, so she has hired a tutor. Okay? So look at so. Does it mean in order that? Or does it mean therefore? Here, so means therefore. Olga wants to improve her English, comma, so she has hired a tutor. Okay? Therefore, she has hired a tutor. Number 7, Tarek borrowed money from his parents so he could start his own business. Tarek borrowed money from his parents, so, you look at so. Does it give a purpose, in order to, or in order that, or does it mean therefore? So number 7, Tarek borrowed money from his parents so that he could start his own business. Why did he borrow the money? The money? To start his own business. There's your purpose, in order to start his own business. Okay? And number 8, I turned off my phone so that I can concentrate on my paperwork. So you look at so here. Does it mean therefore, or does it mean in order that? Why did you turn off your phone? To concentrate on your paperwork. So here it shows a purpose, or it means in order to. I turned off my phone so that I can concentrate on my paperwork. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude today's lesson. Now, for Monday. Hopefully on Monday, if you had any audio difficulties, you'll be able to get those fixed. I'm not quite sure yet if we'll do Blackboard Ultra again for Monday, or if we'll do another option. The only thing about the other option, like for example Zoom, yes, it might have better quality. However, remember that Blackboard is an institutional tool used by the community college. Zoom is a tool that has become very popular, especially in the last month. And there are some dangers of other people who do not belong in the group popping in and making maybe some inappropriate comments or displaying some inappropriate graphics. Okay, so we have to be careful about that. That's one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and continue using Blackboard Ultra for now, but I'll let you know before Monday. Okay. Now Monday's lesson will be online, will be pages 416, 417, 418, 419. And then the recorded lesson on the PDF file will be pages 420, 421, 422, 423. Okay? And that'll be the end of chapter 19. We're going to have to do this every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have an online lesson with some pages that are separate from the recorded or PDF file lessons. So you're going to have to log on to both. Monday's lesson will begin at 8:30. Again, I will let you know if I'm going to use a different option or continue using the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Okay? Thank you. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay healthy.